this video I'm going to connect this building to a community internet service that I created in a previous video, which you can click on the link here. This is TURI Children's Project, a project that I'm quite close to. It's dear to my heart, and this is going to combine two of my passions, technology and social action. And so in the back of my car here, I've got everything that I need to do to make an install. I've got a TP-Link router, which will create a wireless network. I've got a NANO Station M5. This is the full strength one because we're a little further away. I want to make sure that I get a good signal. Various tools underneath here, you'll see that there is a TP-Link router. A TP-Link switch, and a load of Cat5 tables, some screws, a laptop and equipment. So this is the computer center. All of these computers were brought out in people's hand luggage from the UK, but none of them are connected to the internet. I believe they have Windows 7 on, they're Intel Core Duos, so they're pretty old, but perfect for word processing, internet surfing, that kind of thing. So somehow I'm going to run the cable out here, and I'm going to put all the routing equipment just here, so we can then slowly start to connect the computers. So let's quickly unbox this TP-Link router here. It's a bit of a crude. Let's just pull this off. Now, if the switch is pretty standard to use, you've probably seen them before, particularly if you're an IT tech. This is a bit of more of a heavy duty one for more computers, and as you see, this is all you get. It does give you some mounting, and that's probably a power cable. You get a power cable there, mounting screws, and if you want to put it in a rack, you won't need those. They're the bits that we are going to need, and that will be placed there. Again, this is a NANO station. This is the M5. Normally I use locos, but two reasons why I got this one. Firstly, the store didn't have any locos. They're quite well used, but also this actually has slightly better range. This is one of the furthest installs that I've done to date, so I want to make sure that they get a reasonably good signal. So inside the Ubiquity box, that's what it looks like. That's a NANO station, and then in there you get a PoE injector, a couple of cable ties, and that's it. And finally, we have our TP-Link router, and what's this one I pulled out of an install that wasn't needed, and these are pretty straightforward. This is a little Wi-Fi router, just cheap. Going to use it as a DHCP server, power brick, hey presto, everything that we need. Always my least favourite part of any build is wiring Ethernet. My problem is I don't use it, I don't wire enough, so I'm a reasonable amateur, but there are those times where I punch a cable and it doesn't work, and it irritates me. So I'm going to punch some cables right now. Can you remember the colour order of a Cat6 cable starting from pin 1? See if you can put them in the comments below and we'll see who is right. So not my best cable punch ever, but it looks okay. Now, network professionals, how do you do a perfect punch every time so you don't get that little protruding cable there? I'd love to know. Please send me your comments. Better. Time to plug it into my PoE injector to see if my punches have worked. There you go, on the pole with the cable ties. Now these Ubiquity products are amazing. I'm just blown away at how good they are. I've bought about 40 or 50 of them, and bar one, which was melted by a fire, they've all worked flawlessly. And to be honest, the fire wasn't its fault, really. So these M5s have two Ethernet sockets at the bottom, which is pretty awesome. you plug your first one into main, like that, and then you have a second one there where you can either daisy chain them, or I've often wondered if you could run another connection out to another router. Good question, don't know. But there you go, plugged into the main, and that will receive the power from the PoE injector.
So this is a good place to break, as the install went into 2 days. This is TCP, TURI Children's Project, and was set up a number of years ago, particularly just to supplement the food and education of these young people after school. But the project has expanded. They're now building a chicken house to become self-sufficient and sell the eggs. They teach the kids how to cook, to sew. They also teach the kids basic computer skills, hence where this internet install comes in. Now, my efforts to try and get a signal failed dismally, and after scrabbling around on top of that original building and killing myself a couple of times, the install went into a second day, and I got some guys that I know that do this for a living help me reposition the area.
So the project is into day 2 now, and here I've brought the professionals in. Yeah, we're trying to get a better signal. And the hound dog is up there trying to
88
to get a good signal. So far, the best signal is on the chimney, not on the original building where I thought. So the transmission station is just about between those trees there. And the problem I was having was on this building here where the computer centre is. There was just too much tree blockage. So, having put the cable on this one, we will wire another cable from across here into the computer center. So those guys are going to do a much better job.
So I learnt a couple of valuable lessons in this install. Number 1, ask friends to help you put an aerial up in a difficult place. And number 2, don't think that I can do the install on my own. You can see we put the wireless router in the main building now, which has proved really useful for the members of staff to get access to a Wi-Fi connection. We ran another cable across to the computer centre, and now the computer centres are being connected. You can see here Ken is making some fine adjustments to the aerial so we could get the very best connection to the base station. I'm incredibly grateful to Access Kenya, who have very kindly donated 3 megabytes of business-grade internet into this project. Now, that might not seem a lot, but it does help a lot of people get access to the internet, particularly in Kenya, as more and more things are required for you to log online and solve yourself. Finer if you're in the city, but in rural communities, a little bit more difficult. So has this worked?
Okay, so the install has taken place, and now's the big moment. We're going to see what the speed is on the connection. Ping test, so 40. Okay, a little bit of high latency is to be expected because we're so far away from the base station. But that's not bad going. 5 meg.
Decent enough.
Yeah, considering that that Access Kenya is giving us 3 megs. So this is going to be more than capable of handling the bandwidth that these guys are giving us.
Yep.
Awesome, hey?
Yeah, especially for the applicator.
Yeah. There we go. Not bad going. Now we just need to plug that yellow cable into the router and shed the love across this site.
And we spread the juice.
So, not one of my average installs, but it gives you an idea of what I do to connect a customer to my community service. I've got a few thank yous. Firstly, to Ken and crew, who came and rescued me day 2 and helped me position the aerial in a different place. Without them, I would have almost certainly fallen off that roof. I want to thank Phil and Emily for providing the equipment, and also I want to thank Access Kenya, who have provided 3 megs of bandwidth for that project free of charge. They're going to make a big difference in that community, and no doubt I'll report back as and when the project expands. So that leaves me to thank you for watching, and please do rate and subscribe. And until the next video, have one on me.